my channel. Okay, hi guys, on a more serious note, you're welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're already familiar with this channel, you know that my name is Toyin Boju Oyemade. I'm a female, obviously. I live in Lagos, Nigeria. And usually on my channel, you would have seen music. I like to say that my life is cut into three parts: media, music, and ministry. And on my channel you'd have seen some of my snippets of music from something that I call Let's Worship. But I thought to begin to have these conversations with us because they're just perspectives that I have on issues to do with life and living, and how we can all help ourselves to know better and to do better. Now it's interesting because I've always wanted to do this on my YouTube channel, or on the YouTube channel, for the longest time. If this is 2020, literally I can say like for 10 years. Yes, for 10 years I've carried a dream to have a channel where I just have conversations and just share my thoughts on things that are going on in the world, or things that are going on in life, or things that are going on in my life, and how I believe that it can help somebody else. But for some reason, I don't know, I've just not been able, well, I know why actually, I've just not been able to make it happen. And maybe that is where we should start this first conversation today, because we're in a new year. Everybody has new year resolutions, new dreams, new plans, all of those new things, right? And God forbid, but we know that it will happen that to the midpoint of the year, and some will get to the end of the year, and either we've not done so many of those things, or we've started them but we've not done them up to the point we should, or excuses, and somehow 2020 comes and then we move them again into 2021 plans and all of that. Now let me just stop for a second. I'm sure you can see that there's a chair behind me, and some of you might be wondering, why is there a chair behind her and she's not seated on the chair? That's because I really just like to sit on the floor, and I think comfort is king. So I just looked at it and I just thought it might look weird. Why is there a chair behind and she's not seated on the chair? I like to sit on the floor. I think sitting on the floor is just so comfortable. Yeah, it's just so me. So moving back to my conversation. So like I was saying, why is it that we have all of these things that we carry in our minds to do, and yet we don't do them? I've had this idea since I left university, which was about 2006, but I didn't really become so serious about it until about 2008. At that time, YouTube channels were not even popular the way that they are today, right? I got a channel, I got this, I got that, I got all of the resources that I needed to at least start, right? But what happened? I was missing something very key. And what is that something? Something that I will call the belief system. The belief system. Now it's so interesting because some of you might watch this and be like, yeah, I believe in myself, I believe in this, I believe in that. I thought so too, but every time I wanted to, and I remember when I first got my camera, I have so many recordings. If I find them, I'll post some of them here. I'll sit in my bedroom at home, sit in front of the camera, do some recordings, have some conversations. And when I play back, all I can see is, oh my God, Tony, your nose is too big. Oh my God, Tony, you're not speaking right. Oh my God, Tony, your English is not this is not this, that is not that, and I just used to give myself all sorts of excuses, year in, year out, till it became that I actually did not do anything for almost 10 years. Guys, that is 1 decade gone. That is scary, because sometimes we never see how time actually flies. You can see I'm going to get it done in 1 year. 1 year becomes 2 years. 2 years becomes 5 years. It becomes 10 years. And I'm looking back wondering, where did the past 10 years go? So you might be watching this video now, and like me, you have some things that you've just been, carry over. over the years and you've not done them, I want to ask you a question today. What is your belief system? What do you really believe about yourself? Now, what do I mean? This was me. I was a young girl from the age of 10. Yes, from the age of 10, I always knew that media was my passion. I always knew that broadcasting was my passion. I knew that journalism, talking, and all of that was my gift. I went to school, I studied mass communication, like my whole life path has been media. But I didn't realize that I had some self-defeating, self-limiting thoughts that affected my self-esteem, that when I actually then wanted to do the things that I wanted to do, I couldn't, because these things were just telling me, you're not good enough, you're not fine enough, you're not this enough, your English is not this enough, your nose is too big. Yeah, I know, my nose is quite present. I used to have a friend that used to call me Noseline. How terrible. And he just used to joke. But he didn't realize that those things that just seemed like jokes were also affecting my self-esteem, so that I started to believe them, and in turn they would influence and impact how I saw myself and how I carried out my activities, what I believed about myself, and how I would be able to birth my dreams. So I carried all of these self-defeating, self-limiting, self-esteem issues for the longest of time. Meanwhile, if you saw me outside, people, you would think that I was the most confident human being on the earth. Like, I was oozing confidence. And there are many of us like that. We have perfected the art of wearing this cloak and this shawl of, I can do it, I can do battle myself, I'm so amazing, I'm so this. But deep within, where nobody can see, right, there are all sorts of other things going on in your mind about yourself that it's just eating up your dreams and eating up the years, eating up your time, and just allowing life to pass you by. So my thought that I want to leave with you in this video today is, how are you going to make 2020 different? I got into this year and I said, Tony, it's time. Like, you've carried this for long enough. It is time, baby girl. And here I am today, starting the process, starting the journey of actually doing. Is it easy sometimes? No. And the work of changing that belief system and changing self-defeating, self-limiting thoughts in itself is a journey. This is a journey that has taken me a while to get to. But some of you are watching and are wondering, okay, fine, I have self-defeating thoughts, I have self-limiting thoughts. How do I begin this change? The first thing is the first thing you have done. Accept that you have it. Many times you don't even want to hear that, oh, someone says, oh, you have low self-esteem, you start to have a headache, you have low self-esteem, you have low self-esteem. So let's move on. Accept that you have it. I had to get to a point where I had to sit down with myself. I consider myself as a human being. I take myself, I can sit down with myself and say, Tony, have a conversation with yourself. And I started to, and I think this was a couple of years ago, I just started to ask myself, why do you think about yourself the way you do? Why do you feel about yourself the way you do? And I started to see where it was coming from, maybe some things that I had heard as a child. I like to say that African parents are amazing. They want to get you better, but they think that the way to get you better is to abuse you. So they can say things like, I'm a Yoruba girl, and so, Yoruba abuse, kilo de to shake go by, why are you so daft? Or they compare you to somebody else. They come and say, did you not see Sholakwe? Hey, her result was the best. Why can you not do this? And many times they think that in telling you that, they are inspiring you, but you don't use a negative process to achieve a positive result. It doesn't work, right? And I don't blame our parents, really. They were doing the best. They just thought that, the more that they knock you on the head and the more that they hit you with the words, then your brain will quickly wake up. But it wasn't working that way. What it was doing was just sowing seeds of negativity and sowing seeds of condemnation and just sowing all of those seeds. So by the time we grew up, it just seemed as if, Sholape would always be better. So even if you wanted to reach out for a job and you saw someone that looks like the person that they compared you to as a child, you just assumed in your mind Do you know that it couldn't be you? Or you heard things like, oh, it's only people that go to these kinds of schools that make it. Meanwhile, you went to Agbagadi school in only God knows one area, and you've carried that thought all your life that because you went to this kind of school, or because you didn't have this kind of friends, or because you didn't have access to this kinds of things, or because you didn't wear this kind of shoe, or because you are not carrying this kind of bag, things cannot work out well for you. All those things are complete lies. So what am I saying? You need to go back to ask yourself, what is your belief system? What has formed the things that you believe about yourself? This, like I said, this is something that can take a while. Begin to write it down. It's very important that you do this in a written down process. Now, if you have a notebook, for instance, you can divide the page into two. Write down the wrong, erroneous belief systems that you've carried over years, and then on the other side, write down exactly what it is that you want to think about yourself, or that you truly think about yourself, or that you should think about yourself, and begin the process of looking at these things day by day, or just consciously carrying them in your mind and in your mentality, telling yourself every day, you are good enough, you are fine enough, you are okay enough, you are confident, you are this, you are that. Drop all of the forming, right? Drop all of those things and be true to yourself. Because what happens is, a lot of the times people see you and just think that, oh, you're fine, you're good. Even if they want to help you, they cannot help you because they don't know that you need help. So another thing that I think that you should do is reach out to people that you can be vulnerable with. Reach out to people that you can be truthful with, people that will not rub it back in your face. I remember there was a time when I was going through this process, I sent an email to like all my family and my friends, and I just said, oh, I just want to know what you guys really think about me. I want you to know this. I was ready to be open, to be vulnerable, to hear the good, the bad, the ugly, and to just get their feedback. And some sent feedback, and it was very helpful. I sent it to people that I had worked with over the years, to just say, I just want you to assess me whilst I'm also going on a personal assessment myself. So reach out to people that you can trust as well, and let them give you feedback, because sometimes you think something about yourself, you don't realize that this is the way that others see you, right? And once you just begin that journey of truthfulness with yourself, of truthfulness with others, and another thing you can do is begin to read books that help you to build a positive self-image. I am a Christian. I believe in reading the Bible. The Bible is one of the best books in the world that I think that just lets you know who you are in Christ Jesus. And as you understand who God has made you. So the Bible says that we are fearfully and wonderfully made. Once you begin to fill your mind with those thoughts, you begin to change your belief system by yourself. And over time, as you are truthful to this journey, and as you are truthful to this process, you get to the point where you have erased all of those old ideas with the actual truth about yourself, and then you can begin to truly soar and fly and achieve your dreams and achieve your goals. I just thought to share these thoughts with you, and every other week, I'll just be putting out my thoughts on different things, life, living, perspectives, and once in a while I'll also show you my own personal journey of life and living. So let's go on this journey together. Thank you so much. I hope that this video has helped you, has blessed you. If you've learned something, please do comment. If you've gone through these things as well, and you've found a way to come out of it and you like to share, we are here to learn from one another. Leave your comment in the comment section, like the video, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you on the next TY's Thoughts. Bye.